Hey true believers, it's Cole. I apologize if the lighting and framing and stuff isn't exactly up to par. This is sort of a rush job. I was thinking about whether or not I'd do it, and I thought, hey, why the heck not, because it's a nice thing to do this time of year. I'll sort of explain after I do it a little bit why I chose to. Okay, so this is, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus, which I would hope you're familiar with. It's probably the most famous newspaper editorial ever written. It's been reprinted all over the place. You can read it pretty much anywhere on the internet. That's where I got it, just to print it off. Nobody owns the rights to it or anything like that. It was printed in the Sun in New York City in 1897, back in September, when a young girl, a real girl, 8-year-old Virginia O'Hanlon, wrote them a letter after she had asked her father about the existence of Santa Claus. She was beginning to doubt it because of I guess her friends and peer group told her that he did not exist. And the father sort of deflected the question, saying, why don't you write to the Sun? If it's in the Sun, it's so. Some people have expressed doubt about whether or not it's real, but it is real. It's been authenticated. In fact, even the real letter has shown up. I think it was on Antiques Roadshow about 10 years ago or something like that. She was a real person. She lived until something like 1971, and she has said it was a true letter, because some people have expressed doubt over certain things, like, I guess, how she uses the term my little friends, and people said, why would an 8-year-old refer to her peers that way, but apparently she did. And it was responded to by a veteran newspaper man, Francis Pharcellus Church, an editor at The Sun. One thing I will note, I'm not gonna try to hit you with too much background information, but something I thought was interesting was that when he was a younger man, he was actually a war correspondent during the American Civil War. So I think maybe that sort of influences a little bit. I mean, as a person who saw sort of just how truly bad, how awful the world can get at certain times, I think it gave him a little bit of perspective on something like this and why this is important. And again, that's why it's important to me. It has less to do with something like Christmas. It's just that why things like stories and comic books and movies and things like that are important to me, why I want to be a writer. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with the letter. Dear editor, I am 8 years old. Some of my little friends say there is no Santa Claus. Papa says, if you see it in the sun, it's so. Please tell me the truth. Is there a Santa Claus? To which Virginia O'Hanlon, 115 West 95th Street. To which Church replies, Virginia, your little friends are wrong. They have been affected by the skepticism of a skeptical age. They do not believe except what they see. They think that nothing can be which is not comprehensible by their little minds. All minds, Virginia, whether they be men's or children's, are little. In this great universe of ours, man is a mere insect, an ant. In his intellect as compared with the boundless world about him, as measured by the intelligence capable of grasping the whole of truth and knowledge. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. He exists as certainly as love and generosity and devotion exist, and you know that they abound and give to your life its highest beauty and joy. Alas! How dreary would be the world if there were no Santa Claus. It would be as dreary as if there was no Virginias. There would be no childlike faith then, no poetry, no romance to make tolerable his existence. We should have no enjoyment except in sense and sight. The eternal light with which childhood fills the world would be extinguished. Not believe in Santa Claus? You might as well not believe in fairies. You might get your papa to hire men to watch in all the chimneys on Christmas Eve to catch Santa Claus, but even if they did not see Santa Claus coming down, what would that prove? Nobody sees Santa Claus, but that is no sign that there is no Santa Claus. The most real things in the world are those that neither children nor men can see. Did you ever see fairies dancing on the lawn? Of course not. But that's no proof that they are not there. Nobody can conceive or imagine all the wonders there are unseen and unseeable in the world. You may tear apart the baby's rattle and see what makes the noise inside, but there is a veil covering the unseen world, which not the strongest man, nor even the united strength of all the strongest men that ever lived, could tear apart. Only faith, fancy, poetry, love, romance can push aside that curtain and view and picture the supernal beauty and glory beyond. Is it all real? Ah, Virginia, in all this world there is nothing else real and abiding. No Santa Claus. Thank God. He lives, and he lives forever. Sorry, broke up here. 1,000 years from now, Virginia, nay, 10 times 10,000 years from now, he will continue to make glad the heart of childhood. Yeah, so that's a little holiday thing for you guys, and if you haven't read it in a while, or if somehow you've never heard it or read it, it'd be nice if you thought about it a little, and you don't have to think about it from a faith or Christmas angle. Why I thought it might be appropriate for me to do for the channel was simply because it really echoes a lot of the same sentiments and beliefs I have about just sort of having an outlook on life like that, and how we need things like this to make life worth living. Because again, like when I did my spiel on the importance of stories to me, it's great that we have math and science and medicine and all these things that we absolutely need. But again, to me, if we don't have fancy and romance and poetry and belief in the fantastic and all those things, then again, as he said, what a dreary world this would be. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you that. No matter what you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate, I always say anyway that I hope you're doing well. And next time we'll do a genuine comic book episode, probably pretty soon. I got some time on my hands. Okay, so that's great. So this is Cole saying, until next time, peace on earth and goodwill toward men. See ya.